Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at noon.
We're learning more this afternoon about the shooting of two journalists on live TV. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Lisa Vidot. A reporter and cameraman were killed by a former co-worker as they were doing a live interview on their morning newscast. And as Polo Sandoval reports, the tight-knit newsroom in Roanoke, Virginia, is still trying to come to terms with the horrific murders.
Please join us now in a moment of silence.
WDBJ's morning newscast marked the 24 hours since two of the station's journalists were killed during a live broadcast. Stunned friends and co-workers are mourning the death of Allison Parker and Adam Ward. Parker started working full-time at the station last year after a summer internship. She was in a relationship with the station's evening anchor, Chris Hurst.
I need the entire world to know that a woman as amazing as her exists and was taken too soon, and our love it is forever.
Adam Ward was engaged to the morning show's producer and is remembered as a go-getter.
What's especially tragic is not only was he robbed of his life, this world was robbed of the future goals that he would have achieved.
The woman who was being interviewed, Vicki Gardner, was also shot. Her condition has been upgraded to good. Her husband was watching when the shooting happened.
Oh, there's no making sense of it. Obviously, a very disturbed individual wanted to take out on his former co-workers. Just a senseless deed, and my wife happened to be there at the wrong time.
The gunman was a former reporter who had worked at the Roanoke station but was fired 2 years ago. Vester Flanagan later died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. In a 23-page fax sent to ABC News, Williams writes he was a powder keg, in his words, waiting to go boom.
Now, investigators are looking into the gunman's troubled past. Before shooting himself, Flanagan tweeted under his on-air name that Parker had made racial comments and that Ward had reported him to HR. NDSU will soon offer full-ride scholarships to student athletes in all 16 sports starting next year. That means scholarship money will be increased in baseball, men's golf, and men's track and field, bringing all NDSU programs to their maximum scholarship limit. Historically, athletic scholarships included tuition, fees, room, board, and books. In January 2015, the FBS approved allowing institutions to cover the full cost of attendance within an athletic scholarship. If you want to meet some of the Bison athletes, you can do it tonight at the Bison Block Party. Valley News Live Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson will be out there broadcasting live along with the Valley News Live sports team. It's happening tonight at Shields on 45th Street in South Fargo from 5 to 8 p.m. Thousands of kids made the trip back to school in Fargo this morning. It looks like it's going to be a pretty nice recess on this first day back to class for the Fargo School District students. Let's check in with meteorologist Robert Hahn. It's feeling like summer here as we move into fall activities.
Yeah, pretty nice day. Temperatures all in the low 70s. We've got a mix of clouds and sunshine across the region, and that's what we're going to see as we head through the afternoon. Temperatures warming on up into the 70s, maybe a few low 80s in the southern half of the valley. Right now, 73 degrees here in Fargo, also 73 over in Jamestown, 70 in Grand Forks, Bemidji, and in Wadena. I mentioned some clouds, and there they are. We are seeing a few clouds. However, across far northern Minnesota, we're seeing some mostly sunny skies. And we'll see a mix of cloud and sunshine as we head through the day today. Underneath those clouds, yeah, we're not talking about any precipitation. We could see an isolated shower or storm across the extreme southern portions of the valley as we head through this afternoon and this evening. However, the vast majority of us will stay dry. I'm going to show you the first couple of days of that 7-day forecast today. I'm going to warm it on up to right around 80 degrees. Tomorrow, a few more clouds, a bit more humidity, and maybe one or two showers and storms. Right now, it looks like the best chance of that will be in the northern half of the valley. The weekend, right around the corner. How is the weather looking? We'll let you know coming up in just a few minutes.
Looking forward to that. Thank you, Robert. Another sexual assault reported in the FM area. Moorhead police tell Valley News Live that an assault was reported just after midnight, but they're not releasing any additional information. Police are also still looking for two men believed to have raped two women at an apartment in West Fargo on Tuesday. Some North Dakotans have mixed feelings about a new state law allowing police to use drones with non-lethal weapons such as tear gas or tasers. Representative Rich Becker of Grand Forks, who drafted the original bill, is not happy with that part of the law and says changes could come during the 2017 legislative session. Even people who know the unmanned equipment well have questions about the need for such a law. North Dakota is one of a handful of states trying to determine the best ways of integrating unmanned aircraft into civilian airspace. A Louisiana police officer was shot and several people stabbed when a domestic dispute took a dangerous turn. Authorities say the attackers stabbed 3 women inside a home and shot a police officer. The police officer died along with one of the women. The suspect then drove into the front of a nearby mini-mart and barricaded himself inside the store. Workers were able to get out safely. Police arrested the man after firing tear gas into the building. Construction crews are back at work today after a man was killed at the new Viking Stadium construction site in Minneapolis yesterday. 35-year-old Jeremy Gruber of Northfield died after falling 50 feet into a snow gutter. A coworker was also seriously hurt. OSHA is now looking into whether the victims were properly harnessed. A new security system at West Fargo Public Schools seems to have some problems. With the lobby guard set up, visitors must scan their driver's license and have their picture taken. The system then runs a background check through national and local databases before approving entry. But on Tuesday, a Valley News Live photographer was misidentified as a sex offender out of Pennsylvania. The district apologized for the mistake. Friends of a North Fargo man who was murdered in his home in June are planning to honor him this weekend. Local businesses are hosting an event to support the Samuel Trout Scholarship Fund. The Moorhead CrossFit Gym is partnering with Drecker Brewery to host their first Barbells and Brews Brawl, a short workout and then drinks at the brewery. The event happens on Saturday starting at 9 a.m. at Drecker Brewing. Still to come on your news at noon, the Mr. Food Test Kitchen has a staple of almost every Southern buffet. But next, weather to plan your Thursday with Robert Hahn.
You're watching Valley News Live on TV, online, and on the go. Always on, wherever you are, whenever you need to know. Valley News Live.